At some point or another, you're frustrated. You're frustrated with the way your life feels. You're frustrated maybe by how you look, by how much money you have in the bank. You might be frustrated by the people that you are living with, whether it's your kids or a romantic partner, or maybe you're frustrated by your job. But it's inevitable. It's part of being human that we find times when we're frustrated. When those frustrations mount, there's always a possibility that we're going to cement an echo of that occurrence in the future, of the things we didn't like. And the reason is not because you're lame, not because you can't turn things around and get it better or make it better, but simply because all of the energies that went into the first reality, how you were living before you got frustrated, you will create the same kind of experience again unless you change those energies. So you're the one that's in the driver's seat of whether or not these things will happen again and again and again. In one of my other YouTube videos, I talked about the formula for how we manifest physical reality. And just as a very brief reminder, it's what you're thinking, feeling, believing, and then the subsequent actions that you take based on your thoughts, your feelings, and your beliefs. So when you're looking at the fact that all of your energies are going into how things work out in your life, it's important to understand that frustration is a good opportunity for you to say, what I was doing before was not working. So if I would like to have a different outcome, I've got to be the one to get in there and figure out how to do something really different. There's always a hesitation here. People might think, well, I can't get rid of him, I can't get rid of her, I can't do this, I can't move, I have this, I have that, and all of these thoughts as though everything is concrete and permanent. If there's one thing that we know from nature is that the only thing that's inevitable is change. The way that nature changes in the seasons, or the way that water can make a new pathway for a river. Change is happening all the time. And us as human beings, we have the opportunity to metaphorically understand what we witness in nature and apply it to our own lives. Change is inevitable for us as well, so you can get in there and change the flow. There is nothing permanent. There is nothing permanent. Every single thing will change at some point or another, including at one point you will return back home to where you came from. So even that is a change. So nothing is permanent. So once you start to get this idea that nothing is permanent, you can look a little bit differently at the circumstances in your life in an area in which you're frustrated. And think, what if I did something very, very, very different? What if I didn't behave the way I did last month or last year? What if I came into this equation of my life and I changed it up so much that I'm able to change my path and get rid of those things that have been bothering me or frustrating me, that I've been assuming are inevitable for my future? It is up to you. It is up to you, because there is nothing that's permanent. I have coached tens of thousands of people, and it's often that a client will share a story with me and something about their circumstances seems so gripping, so unchangeable, and they can't see a pathway out of it. But if they're open to the possibility, one of the things that I can do for them is to tap into their guides to get suggestions about how there are possible ways to open doors and to make changes and to turn things around, even in areas that we thought were immutable. So in order for you to be able to make tomorrow different than yesterday, it's so important that you realize you are the link in the middle of it all. Of course, we don't live in a vacuum. We're not isolated. There are lots of energies of other people around us that are contributing to the way our life unfolds. But the most dominant energy in how you have your life unfold is you. It's not anyone else. It's not your husband, it's not your daughter, it's not your neighbor, it's not your boss. It's you. You've probably met somebody at one point in your life when they were really frustrated with so many things in their lives. And you're like, I'm leaving here. It's too expensive to live. The taxes are high. There's pollution. There's traffic. There's this. There's that. Rents are high. And you're like, I'm out of here. I'm moving to a different state. And there's this expectation that everything is going to be better. So they pack everything up and they move across the country. And they're on like a little bit of a honeymoon period for a year or so, where that excitement of all things being new rides them into circumstances that are very different than where they left. But if they did not fundamentally change anything about their own vibrational energy of what they're feeling, what they believe, how they act, and what they think, they will ultimately create the same type of reality in the new city or the new state that they live in. So yes, you can temporarily see things differently, a quick change, a flash in the pan, but until you pay attention to your thoughts, your feelings, your beliefs, and your actions, then frustrations from the past will be more probable in the future. So change it up fundamentally. Allow yourself to understand that every single thing can be changed and that you have the power to do it. I know that when I'm talking to audiences or I'm channeling books, it seems as though it's always easy to do these things just by listening to one particular topic on how to make a change. But the key is that through all that it is that I get and bring through from guides, the fundamental element is that you continue to grow in your love of self. Because if you're taking that formula of what I think, feel, believe, and the subsequent actions that I take, but you don't love yourself and you don't believe you're worthy of something positive at the other side of the equal sign of how you create your reality, then it's not going to happen the way you would want it to happen. So yes, here's a formula, but you got to keep growing in your feelings and belief about yourself overall, not just in the arena of the focus of what it is you're looking at that moment. Just keep focusing on, if I don't feel worthy of a positive outcome, why is that? If I don't feel worthy of bringing in the person of my dreams, why is that? If I don't feel worthy of a dream job, why is that? Look at those frustrations and see if you can figure out why those are recurring in your life. Where is the link? What is the trigger that comes from your past? And when you really take a peek at it, these elements, then dealing with the frustration and making yourself experience an entirely different outcome in the future will happen when you apply the formula of what I think, feel, believe, and the subsequent actions that I take in alignment with what you want, but also when you're growing in your feeling of being worthy. Everyone is worthy. Everyone has the same right to abundance and good health, happiness, freedom. For whatever reason, you might not feel that as fully as you did at birth. You can grow it back and you can remember it. So don't think from this point on that your past is the indicator for what your future will look like, because it's not. In order to let go of patterns, you have to step into the present and change the things that were not working. And then you can move forward into a future that you love. But you can do it